The 28th of October, which I can't believe. When this vlog goes up, it's going to be November, and I cannot believe we're in November. Like, where the hell has the time gone? It's crazy how quick this year's gone. So today we find out the gender of the baby. I can't believe we're here. I'm halfway. I'm over halfway. I'm 20 plus 4 weeks when I'm filming this. I have no words. I can't believe that I'm finding out the gender today. Neil has just taken P to school. Neil's got the day off work, which is really nice. When we had our gender scan with P, our scan was at like 20 to 4, so I had to wait all day. I had to go to work, and we left early, and yeah, it's nice that we're going to spend the whole day together. So Neil's just taking P to school, because Neil never gets to do that. I think he's only ever done it like twice. I said that. It's at 20 past 11, and I'm really anxious. I am so anxious. It's horrible. I've been really anxious this past like 2 weeks. My battery's flashing. I'm not an anxious person per se. I'm a nervous person, but I've been really just in my head quite a lot this past couple of weeks, just with movements not being regular because the baby's still so small, and I don't think you can feel regular movements until you're like 26 weeks pregnant. And it's really hard because I think, oh my god, I haven't felt the baby move today, but I'm not necessarily going to feel the baby move all the time. So that's been really difficult, and just finding out the gender is gonna, like, to me, it's gonna show the path of the rest of our life. Like, it's crazy to know that by lunchtime today we're going to know whether we're having a boy or a girl, if all goes to plan. Find out the gender, we're going into the city. We won't have long because P finishes school at 3, so we're going to have like a quick meal out, like a nice little lunch date, me and Neil, and do a bit of shopping. When we find out the gender, buy a few little bits, and then I need to finish off P's birthday stuff. Oh god, I've got so much going on in my head. And then we'll go pick P, and then we're not telling her until we actually do the reveal. Okay, so I'm ready for the day. I thought I'd do a quick OOTD. This is glamorous for me because I'm wearing makeup for a start, and I've put earrings in. This is Primark, a little shirt which I cannot button up even though it's a size 18. And I've got a black top on. Shock, I'm head to toe in Primark apart from my leggings. And there's the bump. You probably can't see because of the light, but I've got a really high bump, which I think is supposed to signal a girl. Can you see? Probably not. And then these are JoJo leggings, which I don't rate at all. I rate Topshop over those. And then I'm going to put on Converse on my feet. Put my socks on. Oh god, I can't do laces for much longer. The struggle. Oh, I need to sneeze. Oh, I just wet myself. Oh, for God's sake. I'm excited but nervous. What will be will be. Oh. How do you feel?
I don't have any feeling. It is what it is.
My soul is deceased. This is the aftermath of the gender reveal. These things, if you are ever planning on doing a gender reveal, these things from Aldi that were like £2.50, but I paid 19p in the sale, are incredible. So definitely recommend those if you're doing one. And the balloon was good as well. So we've got pink everywhere, even on the wall, and we've even tidied some of the stuff up. So that is a little behind the scenes. We had to do it twice because I needed one for my YouTube video and then a little reveal for Instagram. So I'm going to go to Sonos and pick an outfit out for the babe. Hey babe, where are you? You're eating a sweet. How do you feel the fact that you're having a baby sister? Oh. How's your sweeping device?
Not ideal. Look at it.
I don't think you're going to fit much in your dustpan either.
It's a good dustpan.
actually done a pretty good job.
Well, obviously, I'm a goddess.
Second trimester part 2, I think. I'm starting this entry from 20 weeks after my gender scan. And I honestly think it has been weeks since I sat down and filmed. Like ages. I can't remember when it last was. So I obviously know the gender, had the gender scan. It's an absolute faff. I may as well just start from that, I guess. So today is the 30th of October. I had my gender scan on the 28th. I am currently 20 plus 6, so I turn 21 weeks tomorrow. So, gender scan. Our scan was at 20 past 11 and they were only running like 10 minutes behind, which was quite good. Got in and Neil had the day off work, which was really nice. It wasn't like we were stressed for time and stuff, and P was at school all day. So it was like a nice relaxed and chilled situation, I guess. I did start filming and then I thought, actually, you know what, I don't really want to film this. Like, I'm just not feeling it. So I'm sure I'll put clips in like after or whilst I'm talking or something. So I went to the scan, sat on the bed, and instantly, as soon as she put the Doppler on, you saw the spine. So the baby was lying in like a really difficult position, and I was getting really stressed, thinking, oh my god, I'm not going to find out the gender. Like, I downed a whole bottle of Coke prior to it, and I did not enjoy drinking Coke at like 10:30 in the morning. I was like, we're not going to find out the gender, and I thought, how am I going to explain it to P that we've been obviously been bigging it up, like, we're going to find out what we're having, and then not tell her. So I was getting really stressed. And they were doing like all the measurements of like the head and the spine and the hands and the arms and the feet. Like, it's a really long, in-depth scan anyway. But this child wasn't cooperating, so God knows what's going to happen when it comes to her birth and what this child's personality is going to be like, but it just was not playing ball. Yeah, so she did that, and then I said, like, we'd obviously like to find out the gender if we were able to. She's like, okay, that's fine. And she really struggled, to be fair. Like, she was trying for, like, not just to find the gender, but she struggled doing like the measurements and stuff. I remember getting on the bed at 11:32, because they've got the time up on the top of the screen. And I remember still being in there at 11:50, which is quite a long time. And the lady, because I think it was because of the positioning of where the baby was, she was really hard with this Doppler. I'm still sore now, and that was 3 days ago. 2 days ago? What day are we today? Wednesday. It was 2 days ago. I honestly feel bruised from how hard she was like digging in, and it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't like painful, of course it wasn't, but it was like, I'd rather you not do that. So she then was like measuring the legs, and like baby kept moving, and then she was like, oh, because the baby's moved, we'll be able to see the gender. As soon as she went on the area, I just knew, and I was like, right, like processing it in my brain. And I know Neil was as well, because he had seen it before like I had. I remember when I saw P, like I instantly knew. And so second time round, I was like, there's nothing in between the legs, like it's a girl. And she was like, oh, like it's she was like, obviously it's not 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure that it's a girl. She was like, there's nothing in between, and you've got the 3 lines, which means girl. And I was like, I didn't know how to react. I was like, okay. And then she was like, right, what I'm going to do is send you off for a walk because of the positioning. And they weren't able to measure the heart chambers correctly, and they wanted to check the lips for a cleft palate. And she wasn't happy with what she got, so she said, go away for 20 minutes, she's going to do someone else, and then we'll go back in afterwards. And I was like, right, okay. And obviously we were on a bit of a time limit. I didn't expect it to take as long as it did, because we were going to go for lunch and then do a bit of shopping and then pick P up, and all of that just gradually went out of the window the longer we were at the hospital. So I went to the toilet, and then Neil went to the toilet, and we didn't really say anything to each other. And then as he came out, he was like, you're really annoyed, aren't you? And I was like, I'm not annoyed. I just thought I was having a boy. If you watch my gender predictions, and like all my cravings and everything for me pointed that I was carrying a boy. I'm carrying completely different to what I did with P, and that's not me saying that a boy was my preference. I just honestly felt in my heart of hearts that that's what I was carrying. So then when I found out that obviously the baby was a girl, I was like, oh, like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And I said to everyone, if I find out we're having a girl, I would be really shocked, and that's what I was. So this whole time I was trying to process, like, oh my god, I'm a really bad person, because I don't feel disappointment, but at the same time I was expecting a different answer. And for the past like 4 to 6 weeks I've been imagining my life with one of each, and now it's going to be 2 girls. The bickering, the arguing, the sassiness, yet again, like, I don't know if I can do that again. So all of this stuff was going through my brain, and like, it was just a really weird time. And then I was getting messages coming through from like friends that knew the time of the scan. They're like, oh, what's going on? Is everything okay? Are you going to tell me the gender? Blah, blah. And I was like, I can't deal with this right now. Like, I just need to process this myself. And like, I kept getting messages, and I was like, I just can't cope right now. So we obviously went for a walk, and as we were walking, we were like talking and like imagining what our lives are going to be like now with one of each, with 2 girls. It was a weird one, I'm not going to lie. Neil wanted a girl, so he was happy, but the last week he actually thought to himself, actually no, it would be quite nice to have a boy. But I know that his preference was always having a girl. And then for me, I know what I'm doing when it comes to girls. Like, I've done it, I've got one, I know what I'm doing, I know how they work. And I would be completely clueless having a boy. The only reason that I wanted to have a boy was obviously because Ellie's got one, and it would be nice to have raised our 2 girls together and then raise our 2 boys together. But regardless, we're going to be raising our children together anyway, because she's like my sister, so it doesn't matter. And yeah, it was just one of those. It was like, oh, okay, we're going to be mum and dad of girls, and that is what it is, and obviously it's absolutely fine. We then went back into the scan room, and we were in there again for maybe like another 20 minutes. They did all the measuring and got everything that they wanted to, and then the lady that I had, for your 20-week scan, you have 2 like sonographers, or someone like doing paperwork and then someone on the machine, whereas for your 12-week you only have 1. So for that I had a student midwife, no, they're not midwives, they're student sonographer. And so she asked would we allow her to have a turn, and I couldn't really say no. I felt really uncomfortable, even though we were in a bit of a hurry, and I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. So she then sort of messed around a bit. And then finally we managed to get our photos and go. I called Ellie, obviously told her the news. Who else did I call? That was it. She was the only person I called, actually. Neil went and had lunch. Neil then told some of his friends. And then we had to go and get P from school. It was like really rushed. We were really on a time limit. Then we came home and did the reveal, which you would have seen. And went to Sainsbury's, got a few little bits in the sale. I'll do like a second hand, I'll do a haul later on at some point. And here we are, a couple days later. I, on reflection, feel so happy and relieved, I guess, having a girl. It was something that was really playing on my mind, if I were to have a boy, how the dynamics would change, not only as us as a family, but like practicality wise, house wise, things like that. And I slept so well after we found out the gender. I think I was asleep by 9, and I slept all the way through till 7, and it just shows how anxious and worried I was leading up to that scan. I just felt like a massive weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Like I said, the children were going to be able to share a room for a lot longer, and it just, I don't know if it comes across as horrible, but it's just easier to have a girl. And realistically, I couldn't see myself changing a boy nappy, whereas I could see myself doing it with a girl. I don't know, it's just one of those weird ones, I think. If you find out genders and stuff, it's just one of those. I wouldn't have it any other way now that I know what I'm having. I would say I suffered with maybe just a tiny bit of gender disappointment, but on reflection, like, like I said, an hour later we were like, no, actually, you know what, this works for us and this is right, like I see it. So now we've got the struggle of girl names, because obviously I use my favourite name with P, and yeah, it's just going to be one of those. And that's another thing, like I have felt like I've had a couple of things. The one thing that's really frustrated me, which I didn't think I would have, is I feel like I have to justify myself. I don't know if any of you that have had two of the same gender feel like that, but I had a couple comments, not necessarily from like my viewers or anything, like my viewers have been really supportive, but a couple of comments on like real life, like, never mind, maybe try again. I wasn't trying for a boy. So I feel like people have this like image or this idealistic view in their head that everyone wants one of each, and I'm annoyed that I have to keep justifying myself, being like, well, I've got everything, I've got the clothes, like, it doesn't matter, a baby is a baby at the end of the day and a baby's healthy. So that's been a little bit frustrating, because I'm happy, but everyone thinks that I'm disappointed, and that's not the case at all. And then I've also started getting the thing of, thought of any names yet? It's just like, even if I had, I'm not going to tell you, so can you not, with the comments? And again, that's not from you guys, that's from like just life and real life, and I'm just like, I can't be dealing with this. I'm going to have this for another 20 weeks. And yeah, I like privacy when it comes to that sort of thing, because I remember talking about it previously with P, and I was like, oh, I really like the name Phoebe, and they're like, oh, Phoebe from Friends, don't like that. And I'm like, well, I do, so keep your opinions to yourself. Having said that, we do now have to decide on girls' names, which is going to be tricky. I have no clue. I've got some for first name, no clue for middle name. Haven't got a Scooby-Doo. So we'll have to see where that goes. I'll have to get on to like Google and see what names I like. So yeah, that's how I feel about the whole gender scan and all of that. I feel really happy, and it just works for us. I feel a little bit silly. My second-hand haul is going to be going up soon, and it would have been up by the time you see this. I just feel stupid because I hauled boy stuff, but I didn't spend that much money on boy stuff. So I've messaged Ellie already, and I was like, you can have the big stuff, and I've got a friend that's able to have the smaller baby stuff, so that's fine. And now I can't wait for like the next mum sale where I can go and get a couple of girls' grows. I don't need to get too many because I love what P had anyway. I went through it not too long ago, and her stuff is just beaut, so I'm really happy that I get to use all that again. As for like symptoms and stuff, I feel fine. I really have just bounced back, like everyone says, for the second trimester. I feel like it took me a lot longer to get to it this time, but like, I'm not tired, I'm not having naps, I'm sailing through the day. I'm up till 10:30, 11, half 11 at night now, whereas previously, oh, my battery's flashing, I'd be in bed by like 8:30, 9. Bad back, really bad back, really bad back. I've got physio booked for next Monday. My main focal points is my right hand side shoulder, and I can't get to it. I can't get to the point where it is, so I'm struggling daily until Neil gets home and is able to put something on it for me. So it's my shoulder, my middle of my back where my bra strap sits, and my lower back as well. It's basically my whole back. It feels like chronic pain, it's horrible. So I've got physio for that on Monday, and cravings have gone. Like, I don't really have anything. I'm not like, oh my god, I need salt. I'm not like that anymore. Appetite's slightly going, like I just don't fancy anything. Still don't like cooking raw meat. Acid reflux has sort of slowed a little bit, and I'm feeling movements, like definite like kicks. I saw it, I still call it, I saw her like punch my stomach or kick or whatever it was, just before my 20-week scan. So that was really cool. So like, I'm feeling it more now, which is nice. I have really struggled with like the nervousness of not having consistent movements, and I'm still going to have that for the next couple of weeks. But it's nice to know that she like reassures me and it's like, I'm still here, like everything's okay. So I'm going to wrap it up for now because I need to clean my bathroom before I go out. Got plans for this afternoon. Yeah, so I feel like I need to show you my stomach. I'm never going to get my gut out though. That is never going to be on my channel. But I'm still really high, to be fair. So my bump starts up here, but my boobs basically sit on my bump. And then it's all the way. So I've got a nice tidy little bump. Oh, God, my back. Oh, I've got a nice tidy little bump. And I can't believe that my weight gain is completely different this time to what it was with P, but I'm not going to complain about that. Right, I'm going to go clean my bathroom, have a snack, and I'll see you all after my physio. I'll probably want to talk about that. Hi everyone, so I am back today with an update. I have literally just walked in the door. I have made myself a cup of tea in my Christmas mug. This is a Cath from last year, in case you wanted to see what it looked like. Side note, have you seen the Cath Kiston mugs that they've released for Christmas this year? They're beaut, and I need some. I feel like it's been ages since I last updated just because of what happened. So when filming, I am currently 23 plus 1, and I went on my app yesterday and the baby is the size of a chinchilla now, which is crazy. Last week it was the size of a guinea pig. You can change on my app, you can change it where it's fruit and veg. Last week it was the size of a corn on the cob. Bakery, but I don't really know like all the French versions of what these things are, so I ignore the bakery. Then you've got cute animals and like random like miscellaneous things. So I think this week the baby is the length of a Barbie, which blows my mind because that's massive and I'm only 23 weeks. Having said that, I'm 23 weeks and I can't believe it. So I feel like I've got a lot to say, but then again not too much. So I feel like I remember in my last video I was like, I will speak to you after my physio appointment because I needed to have that done. Have I had my flu jab? Did I speak about that? I honestly cannot remember for the life of me if I'm a bit repetitive. So had my flu jab, absolutely fine. I put on Instagram, I just blow my nose by the way if that looks a bit red. I put on Instagram asking whether like it's worth doing. I've heard and read loads of like horror stories. I had that done like almost 2 weeks ago now, absolutely fine. No symptoms. I had a sore tender arm afterwards, and I struggled to sleep on my left hand side after I had it done, but other than that it was absolutely fine. I'm still waiting to get P's. I did put about getting P's nasal spray as well on Instagram in case you're wondering. She's still got a cold, so I had to cancel when she was originally booked for, and she's still all bunged up and snotty, so they don't do it when they've got like a cold. So I'm waiting for that to pass and then P can have hers. I have booked my whooping cough, I must have said all of this, for the 2nd of December, which is not long away when I'm filming this. And then I had my physio appointment booked for, I can't even remember when. I have the letter somewhere. It was before P's birthday. I want to say, is it this one? 4th of November was when it was booked for. I got a phone call literally just as I dropped P off at school, and so I was about to head to the hospital, saying that they had to reschedule my appointment due to staff sickness. And it's fine, and they managed to get me in quite quickly after. But I was just really frustrated because it has got me, this pain that I'm suffering with has got me so down, and I've just been feeling rubbish. So the appointment was today at 9:30. Today is the 15th of November. I have come out of that appointment feeling so relieved that I have physio care now, and I cannot believe how much I actually needed to speak, like mentally. I really needed to speak to like a health professional in that field that just gets it and knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about. I'm not saying that doctors aren't aware, but it's not their field of knowledge. Like doctors just like generalise over one thing, so do midwives. So to actually go and speak into a pregnancy specialist about my pain, I just feel like a massive weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So I had to go in and fill in loads of forms, like about my pain and previous and like not at all, mild, moderate, severe, like pain and things like that. I had to draw a diagram, and I went in there and she was like, oh, so it's about your lower back pain. And I said to her, I was like, I have that, but I also have really bad right shoulder blade pain, which is sort of spreading from my blade all the way up into my shoulder joint, all the way down my arm, and my hand is like, my arm and hand is tingly all the time. And she was like, right, okay. And she was asking me loads of questions, obviously about my job, obviously being sat down at a desk, also doing my cleaning every week. And I've told her that I am able to spread my cleaning out. So if you aren't aware, I have a cleaning contract, and it's a 4-hour contract a week, but I'm able to break it down. It's where I work, so I'm able to fit it in around the weekend, so I can do it any time after 5 on a Friday up till 6 AM on a Monday morning. So I can, and what I do is spread it out over the weekend. It's a chore having to go backwards and forwards, but for me and my health, and obviously looking after my pregnant stomach, that is just how I have to do it. So I was telling her how I'm able to adapt my role to suit like my needs. And so she was asking me obviously about being active, being a mum, things like that. She was lovely. And then she was asking me about like, when did the pain start? And I wrote on the form that I noticed the pain from about 14 weeks, I think, but the pain has been a constant throughout my life. And she sort of went a little bit further into that, and I just said, I have big boobs, I was a 34J before falling pregnant, so I think the strain of everything getting bigger, my bump, all my strain is on my front, so that's obviously straining my back. And then she sort of went into asking questions about that, like whether I'm wearing properly fitted bras, which is obviously I am, and like went into detail about shoulder pain and all of that, which was, it was really nice just to speak to someone about it all, and she completely understood. Went on to do some exercises, so me standing and reaching down, touching my toes. She then sort of lifted up my top, and she originally worked on my lower back pain, which I don't know if I've mentioned is my left hand side on my knicker line. I don't know how she got the pain. She literally put her hand like on my hip, and where her thumb was, she hit the like nerve point instantly, and she could tell like that. She says I'm really tense and tight on that section. So we did exercises to work that muscle. I've got a printout sheet of homework, so exercises, what to do, how to help. And then I've also got one about sitting at a desk and things that I can do, because obviously I have a desk job as well. So we worked on my lower back pain, and then she then went on to my shoulder blade, which for me is the biggest issue because it's a constant numb sensation. I also explained to her from the base of my neck all the way down to my back. If you get your finger and run it along my back or along my spine or wherever on my back, it is numb from my shoulder blades all the way down to sort of where my waist is. And so she's put loads of notes on the system, which I'm really happy about. So she was doing exercises, so like I had to, what was it? One that really made her have a point was I had to do something with my arms, and the way that I did it, this one was fine, whereas this one was like at an angle. Something that I hadn't even noticed, and she was like looking at my shoulder blades, and she said that this one is like really high and really tense, whereas this one's not, and she can significantly see like an issue. She says that I've got soft tissue damage within this shoulder blade, and she's given me exercises. I also need to use my little blue spiky ball, like massage ball, on that, and she said, do I use it? And I said no, because I cannot physically roll it where it is. So she showed me an exercise like this, and I have to put the ball on a wall and like move around that way, and hadn't even thought about that. So I'm able to do that at home. And then she also told me to get out my like pregnancy yoga ball thing, which I have no clue where it is. So I need to text Ellie and see if I can borrow hers. She told me to get that out because that helps your posture. And she said that I'm quite, even though I'm not, she said that I'm quite flexible and I'm able to do things, all things considered, because I'm pregnant. She was quite surprised, which I definitely don't think I'm flexible at all, but she's the professional, not me. And she said that I need to sort out like my posture. So I don't know if you can see, like at the moment I'm bringing my shoulders forward. She said what I need to do is push my shoulders back, and she basically just said to think and act like stand tall. And she said that women with big breasts, they don't do that because obviously it's a big focal point. You don't want to bring attention to your boobs, like you want to hide them, so that's why you come in on yourself and you shrink on yourself. But she said if you find that you're slouching, to bring yourself back and like to support yourself, that will then help my shoulder blades. So it's just trying to correct the bad habits and like go out of my way, but even just pushing my shoulders back pulls on that muscle. And she's actually booked me in for further like assessment slash treatment, I don't know. She said that she really wants to help work on this muscle in, she said 2 weeks, but she was busy, so I've booked for 3 weeks time for the 9th of December. And I just feel great, like I feel really happy. I really hope that I'm able to combat this and make a difference, because just things like just picking pee up, like I physically can't keep doing it because it's pulling on my back so much. So I really hope that this helps. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to go to the hospital. I'm just happy that I've spoken to someone, and I'm going to be seeing that same lady each time. She probably won't remember who I am, but it's just nice to have that contact with someone that knows what they're doing and is there to help me. So I just feel really happy, and fingers crossed it will alleviate the pain. And then I'm hoping in the next, my goal by the time I'm 30, I'm 26 currently, is to have a breast reduction by the time I'm 30. That's something that I could literally just cry just talking about it. It's something I'm so conscious of, and it's something that I desperately want and need, and might potentially have to put it on a credit card, but that is what will be. I am so desperate to have one done. I know a couple of you have reached out to me and said that you've had it done, so fingers crossed. I've got nothing to report. I'm absolutely fine within myself. I'm back to reading and just being me, which is really nice. I know that will change soon. I have been a little bit, not emotional, I just had like, I've had some really like downs, like I feel like I'm aware of my posture now. I have had some really down and low days lately, just because pee's been really difficult, and I just think, just help me out, just help me mum out, just please be nice. Don't, oh the wind's knocked my letterbox. Like, don't give me an attitude, just be my friend, stop fighting with me, just eat your breakfast and things like that. And it's just been really wearing me down. But other than that, we're fine. Not really craving anything. I literally don't really have anything to report. So I'm gonna sign off now. I don't know when you'll next see me. I also want to quickly point out that obviously I filmed these videos quite far in advance for when they go live. I had a comment on my last pregnancy update. I don't know which one it was. I want to say it was my, was it second trimester part 1? I can't remember. Basically saying that I should probably post things as and when they happen. But that's just not going to work for me and my channel. I don't feel like I need to sit down, edit this video and then get it live tomorrow. I like doing bulk updates. So if you don't like the way these are structured, I'm really sorry, but that's just how they're going to be for me and for my channel. It just works that way. I don't want to bombard my viewers that aren't interested in pregnancy related videos. Like, I don't want to keep bombarding every single upload or content to be that, if that makes sense. I think this video will probably go live in Vlogmas. So I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas. Why have I said that I'm going to do Vlogmas? I do not know. Oh god. Fingers crossed it's going well for future self. Anyway, I'm going to go. I will probably, again, next update you after my next physio. So yes, this video will go live on Vlogmas. Fingers crossed I will have another good like update to report on. And I will see you all either in the next video or the next clip. Who knows?